All right, hello, welcome to this video. We are going to just talk again about, we have another article on the whole thing regarding this lawsuit against this basically land that is they want to put in the Pine Barrens. They want to build a golf course in East Quogue, and as you know, when the last time I read this, I got into a pretty epic rant. You won't hear me rant too much in this video. We're just going to talk about the latest news with this. So maybe we'll rant a little bit, obviously, because this just pisses me off. So picture just some of the land in the East Quogue that is slated for a golf course. So again, they want to knock down these trees and build a golf course here in the Pine Barrens in East Quogue. The developer behind a proposed golf community in East Quogue cleared another major hurdle this week after a Suffolk judge dismissed a lawsuit from environmentalists and local residents that sought to overturn the Southampton Planning Board's approval. Acting State Supreme Court Judge Justice Carmen St. George granted the dismissal Tuesday for a lack of standing, whatever the hell that means. That will allow, I wonder how much money the judge got from this developer. Probably a lot. That will allow Arizona-based developer Discovery Land Company to proceed with its plan for the proposed Lewis Road development that will feature 130 residential units and an 18-hole golf course, among other amenities. The project, once known as the Hills, is set to become one of the largest developments in the environmentally sensitive Pine Barrens. And again, this is just, sickening that we're allowing this on Long Island in 2023. Attorney Stephen Barshow, who represents the developer, said the decision removes a roadblock since the litigation had prevented clearing of the site. So now they can start clearing the site. Legal wrangling over the project, which would include preserving 436 acres as open space, has stretched over several years. So they want to get to it. They want to start clearing the site. A pair of environmental groups and several East Quogue neighbors filed what's known as Article 78 litigation in January, arguing the proposed development received an approval from the planning board in December despite zoning restrictions that don't permit a resort. The litigation also named the planning board and the Southampton Town Board. Claudia Braymeyer, the attorney for the petitioners, told Newsday her team is reviewing the decision and they plan to appeal it. Lawyers on both sides of the case said the petitioners now would need to obtain injunction from an appellate court to stop the development. Barshow said that he believed the environmental groups are not infallible and misstated the potential environmental impacts. How many communities are there all across the United States that have golf courses as part of the residential development? There's thousands, he said. That's not a big stretch. Last year, a judge dismissed a 2019 lawsuit filed from the same environmental groups over the town's preliminary subdivision approval. The judge in this case cited that the decision and the petitions raised the same arguments, so it could be relitigated. Bramer said that they disagree with the judge. We brought different arguments than we brought before, and we also have new petitioners that weren't part of the prior case, and the project design changed since the prior case. Robert DeLuca, president of the nonprofit group for the East End and a sub-suit petitioner, said in an email, and I don't know, I guess the Long Island Pine Barrens Society is not involved in this, said in an email to Newsday that the judge's decision was deeply concerning to any citizen who believes that the actions of non-elected land use boards should be subject to public scrutiny and objective review by the courts. Bramer said a 2018 lawsuit remains pending against Southampton Zoning Board of Appeals after its decision and that the golf course be considered an accessory use to a residential subdivision. So I guess they could start clearing land any day now in this area. And again, for those who aren't familiar with the area right here, this is the area that is involved here. So you can see there's a lot of nice pine barrens. This could all be, again, knocked down, all of it. For this development. I kind of wish I had gotten here sooner and was able to check it out. It's probably now too late for this area of Pine Barrens, and that's why I got so angry in the last video and said those things, because I mean, how are we going to stop them now? If the courts gave them the position to do it, then the only way to stop them from destroying this is to physically stop them from destroying it, and that's why I said that we need to go there and stop them from destroying it. And you know what that means. But again, this is why I brought up the Sea Shepherds in that video. I kind of edited that video a little bit because I got a little angry. But These are the tactics we may need to resort to if it comes down to the day that they're going to start clearing the site, and the only way to stop them is to physically obstruct them from doing it. By blocking the equipment, and if that doesn't work, then maybe we might have to actually do something to stop the equipment from working. To stop them from destroying this. It's the only, unless you have another way. You know what I mean? I don't know what the way is to save these woods at this point. Like I said, I don't know. You tell me. But anyway, that is the latest on this, and it's a shame that News 12 could not do a story on this. But I have another article to read regarding that area as well. So there's another article about this area here, and it says Highway Superintendent envisions bridging the gap with Trail Bridge over Sunrise Highway East Quag. And you can see there's an image there. In fact, I've got to load that in here. Just give me a second. All right, so here's the image. And so this is the south side of the property here, all right? Unmaintained highway. And you can see already there's a trailer. There are all the pines that are going to be knocked down over there. If you can see in the distance, there's a trailer there. So it says unmaintained roadway, use at your own risk, and there's a trailer right there. So, again, the time is really running out for these woods I really wanted to see them before they were gone. It's... Anyway, let's get to this article here. So it says, Highway Superintendent envisions a trail bridge over Sunrise Highway in East Quag. So, inspired by the Long Island Greenway, a proposed bike and hiking trail that would run from Montauk to Manhattan, Southampton Town Highway Superintendent Charles McArdle had an ambitious idea of his own. What if a foot and bike bridge could be built over Sunrise Highway to connect the Spinney Pond Road Trail in East Quag to a sister trail on Spinney Road in Flanders? He's even gotten the name for the project. He calls it Bridging the Gap. Both Spinney Road arms, he said, are unmaintained trails. The Flanders side would be able to get to the south side, and the south side would be able to get to the north, he explained. A foot and bike bridge over the top of the highway, he said, could benefit from state and federal infrastructure funding. Spinney Road runs alongside the controversial Discovery Land Company's Lewis Road Resort golf course, known as the Hills. All right, so this kind of ties into what I was just talking about. The residential project was approved last December, but litigation looking to annul the approval is wending its way through the court system. I think this was written before the other article I just read to you. Perhaps the development firm might chip in and pay for the bridge to give back to the community, he said. So they're trying to actually get something out of it, of course. Right through the golf course. How beautiful would that be? What the hell is wrong with this guy? How about right through the Pine Barrens? Why do we need a golf course? How about just the Pine Barrens? What is wrong with people? They build a beautiful trail in Ocean County that goes through the Pine Barrens. But no, we can't do that here. We got to knock down the Pine Barrens. Last week, Highway Department staff removed the fence the developer had erected, and Spinney is a town-owned road, so they can't do that. The developer's already trying to keep people off the property. All right? Continuing to articulate his vision, he said officials could put the design of a bridge out as a contest for architects to come up with their best plan. They'd submit their drawings. We'd get them for free. And to a yet as convened committee. The committee would then pick the drawing. The architect would be able to advertise on the side of the bridge, which thousands would pass underneath. So we're going to have advertisements now. We'd work in conjunction with the Greenway. It'd be a project with the town, the county, and the state. Only kind of went too far there. All green materials could be used, including solar panels. The panels would fire up a message board. There's no stationary message board on the eastern end of Sunrise Highway. Okay. It could be used for Amber Alerts and offer traffic information. It could offer beach and weather information. And he said it could be useful to police. Radar warning signs posting speed, license plate readers, and cameras could be employed. Yes, so Big Brother could watch you. They're stealing cars left and right, he said. Police could get alerts right away. Well, maybe if we did away with bail reform, we wouldn't have that problem. Car counters could aid future planning efforts, offering counts by the day, by the minute, by the hour, McArdle maintained. What a perfect way to connect their two neighborhoods. He acknowledged that the vision is an ambitious one. So we're in the early, very early stages. We're looking for support from civic groups, bike groups, and trail groups. I want to find out who supports this. And a trail would be great, but let's just leave the woods there. How about that? Local bike advocate Andy Morris thought the concept was a great new idea. A former town member of the town's bicycle committee and curator of the Hamptons Active Transportation Plan Facebook group, he said, if the highway superintendent wants to do something like this, let's do it. Wow was the initial reaction of Mark Potter, president of the Southampton Trails Preservation Society, when he was informed of the idea. That sounds great, better than a tunnel. But what about knocking down the woods? The West Ham Brook Greenbelt Trail ducks below Sunrise Highway in the Connecticut State Park in Oakdale. Yeah, and that's tight. I've been on that. This seems like a nice idea, Potter continued. States on the West Coast have lovely overpasses, even for game migration. Why not have something for humans? Not all humans, however, love the idea, it says here. So it said Sally Reed Lynch, I have lived at the end of Spinney Road for 22 years, and I'm against the Hills Project Resolve course and homes they are trying to build in my backyard. The peace and quiet was a major part of my family's choice to live here, and another biking trail is not something I would support since there's plenty nearby on the island. If this happens, it would bring a lot of traffic by my house, which is already going to be a problem if the Hills Project goes through. So they're trying to basically do this as part of the Hills Project, and I do think there should be a bridge over Sunrise Highway, but maybe not a huge paved trail. There should be something so people could cross. I agree. So let's go again. Take a look at the area here, and again, this is you notice it says Spinney Road. So this is Spinney Road right here. So they call this the Lewis Road PDD because Lewis Road is over here, but really the development is going to be off Spinney Road. All right. So this is Spinney Road here, and that picture that they took, I believe, is somewhere over here, probably. Somewhere over here or over here, I'm not sure where, but you can see that there is a bunch of pines in there, all right? It's not the north side. Now, the north side, I don't think they're going to... The developer actually owns this north side as well, but I don't think he's going to build anything here. It's all on the south side of it, all right? But this is Spinney Road right here, so it's a hiking path. And again, all right, fine, you want to build a nice hike. How about just building the trail and not having the development there? How about that, so people can enjoy these beautiful desert-like areas full of pitch pines here. No, we can't do that, right? We can't do that, no. So that's the problem we have. And again, this is the area right here. So we'll go into Street View and we'll show you here. Get this here for a moment. So this is the area, and again, it would be nice to have a bridge here, but think about it. This is a nice, I have mixed feelings about it because, it'd be nice to have a bridge here. It's going to disrupt this beautiful view that we have here of this highway with nothing but pines on both sides. We're going to have a message billboard here. Do we really want that? They just want to build, and overdevelop Long Island. It just never ends. And while I think it would be good to have a path that would connect, to have the signs and the billboards there are just not a good idea. This is a beautiful area, and it's gonna be changed forever, and it's a real shame. And there's a proper way to build a bridge and a proper way to not build a bridge. So we're gonna go to the bridge that was built actually at Garden State Parkway for one of the trails in Allaire. Go on the Garden State Parkway. Here's Allaire State Park, and there's a trail. Yeah, this is it right here. All right, so it says capital to, that is the trail. Why does that still have the tracks there? This is an old railroad bridge, all right, I think. This is the trail. I think this is the trail. Yeah, it used to be an old railroad right away. It goes into Allen. This may not be where I'm thinking of. No, this is where I'm thinking of. Okay, so it is an old railroad bridge. All right, keep that in mind. All right, but see, this looks nice here. All right, this is not too disruptive. All right, but there are no billboards and crap along it. Why do you need billboards? It has to blend in with the surroundings. And so this is one of the ones they built. I think there are a couple on the Garden State Parkway. This is one of them right here. All right. So this used to be an old railroad, though, I think. For some reason you can still see you can still see tracks on there. I don't know if they kept that or not. I walked across this once. I don't remember seeing that, but it does take you into Allaire Park. Actually, it does take you into Allaire State Park. Here is a bike path here, and parking and stuff. And again, I mean, I'm all for these trails. I think they're great to have, but you know, you have to preserve the nature that goes through them. All right, people don't want to walk on a trail and, you know, see all this development. All right. For instance, take this area. Now, this is an area in New Jersey that's been questioned for development, but there are a lot of people opposed to it, and it's probably not going to happen. All right. Because it's New Jersey. All right. And they actually care about their woods there. So this is the Barnegat Branch Trail over here. You can see there's that desert-like area on the other side there that's full of pines. All right. And that's the Barnegat Branch Trail right there. All right. And yeah, this is a very beautiful trail, but they keep who wants to walk along a trail and see a golf course through? I mean, come on. I mean, it's ridiculous. So this is basically goes through the whole right of way of a former railroad. Again, I know that most of this is all through a former railroad here. This is used to be tracks that used to run through here. But they preserved all the land along this, that was preserved, and it's a very nice trail. It goes through a lot of. It's very convenient to get to. It's right along Route 9. You can see here, this is another beautiful intersection here. Let's see if we can get a view here of it. So, again, this is the trail here. You can see, very nice. It's called the Barnegat Branch Trail. It's in Ocean County, New Jersey, where I'm probably going to wind up having to go live eventually, unfortunately, if the way things are going on Long Island. But you'll see here that it's, again, much nicer. And again, Ocean County cares about. They preserve their land. They don't hand it over to developers, and it has nothing to do with political parties or anything, because Ocean County is run by Republicans, and, Southampton is run by Democrats. Suffolk County is run by Democrats. So it's not a political thing, or anything like that, because, people think, all the Democrats are there for preservation. But really, when you look at Long Island, you have to question yourself and say, really? Because it seems like they're for more urbanization than anything, and not for preservation. And Southampton town is strictly run by Democrats. So I was just throwing that out there for those people there are people out there in the YouTube universe who think that the Democrats are for the environment and the Republicans are against the environment. It's not so cut and dry, all right? At least from what I've seen, it seems like, at least on Long Island, or generally speaking, it seems like the Democrats are actually causing more harm to the environment than the Republicans are, in my opinion. And that's the unfortunate thing. But again, this is an area that we are going to lose, and I don't know how to stop it, other than resorting to those tactics that I don't like anything that involves vandalism or anything like that. But when push comes to shove, and they're getting ready to kill the woods here, how else are you going to stop them? How else are you going to stop them? I want to know. How else are you supposed to stop them? Or you're just supposed to say, that's it, and just walk away and say, well, it's just another area that's lost, and, and if you don't like it, you're going to have to shut up and go live in New Jersey. So that's what it is. Like I said, I'm not going to do anything like that, all right? But, I'm just saying, how are we going to stop them from destroying this? How? It's just like with EPCAL. How are we going to stop them from destroying? So they put this bike path along EPCAL. It's like, oh, it's a nice bike path, but they're going to build all this stuff along it. People want to see nature. They don't want to walk along buildings or golf courses. They want to be around trees. They want to see the birds, and they don't want to see. Haven't we destroyed enough on Long Island? Considering all the development that we have, when you look at the Long Island Pine Barrens and see what remains of the main Pine Barrens area, which I can draw out for you right now. Right here, take the green here, and we'll draw it out for you. This is really the main Pine Barrens right here. I'll draw it for you on Long Island. All right, this is what's left of the Pine Barrens right here. Generally, this general area right here, all right, is what's left of the Pine Barrens. All right, so we have this little area here, and we're going to destroy what's left in this little area. That we can. Instead of saying, we need no more development in this green area here. There should be no more development. Actually, it includes Brookhaven, so there should be no more development along that. We have lost so much. I want to show you one more thing here in this video here. Again, I think about these things as I go through these videos. And let me do that now. All right, so this is the mural that used to be at the Sears in Hicksville. It's now somewhere else. I don't know where. It's somewhere in town of Oyster Bay Building. You'll see the name. You'll see what it says, Pine Barrens here, and you'll see that it's actually a good part of Suffolk County here. That's Pine Barrens here. All right, and Pine Barrens used to encompass a lot of Long Island. All right, a tremendous amount of Long Island used to be encompassed by the Pine Barrens, and even if you go outside of this area here, you'll see pitch pines. Even in your outside of the Pine Barrens, you'll see pitch pines. If you go over here, because for instance, by here, all right, let's go by even the Ronkonkoma train station, all right. This area was Pine Barrens before it was all developed. This is what remains of it, all right. The same thing for as you go into. Let's go look at obviously Deer Park. We have the Pine Barrens here too as well. This is what remains of it. A lot of the area was developed around it. All right. So this is what remains of it. All right. And then even as we go into Nassau County, that we have Bethpage here. And there are Pine Barrens here too, as well as in Bethpage. And even if you go along some of the streets here, even in Levittown, for instance, let's go to Levittown, all right, which was mostly farms. As we're getting to this point, it was mostly farms and sort of prairies in Levittown. But there were remnants. There were islands of pitch pines. In fact, you can see there's a pitch pine over here in this park here, as we're in the little Levittown Island Trees area. The name Island Trees actually came from the fact there were islands of pine trees in this area before this was all developed and suburbanized. All right, so there were pine barrens in a large part. In fact, pitch pines were present in. If we draw this out, you look at Long Island here. I'll take the thing again. And there were pine barrens before suburbanization, before we had the sprawl out of New York City back when. The Pine Barrens pretty much stretched from here all the way through here. All right, so now just this little small area remains of it right here. And then we want to erode that small area even further. You see how sad that is. Now, when you go and you compare that to New Jersey, their Pine Barrens, most of what is their Pine Barrens has been protected. You can clearly see that right here when we look at the map here. That put these, get this on here again. Draw here. The New Jersey Pine Barrens is pretty much this whole area right here. This is pretty much all intact. Maybe 20% of it has been lost over time to some development, mostly along the shore eastern areas there. All right, and you have a little outlier over here too as well. So again, New Jersey and Long Island are like night and day. When it comes to New Jersey, they care about their Pine Barrens. They've saved their Pine Barrens, and they do an excellent job maintaining their Pine Barrens with controlled burns and stuff, whereas, again, trying to get controlled burns. Let's look at the distance here. Look at all the development on Long Island, and then you look at New Jersey. Look at the difference. And we just keep going. It's just unbelievable. And like I said, this is, I think, more than anything that would drive me out of Long Island, it's just the destruction of the Pine Barrens. Because without the Pine Barrens, there is no reason to be living on Long Island. There isn't. And, once it's just so little, you have these little islands of pines left that you can go to instead of a vast area of Pine Barrens. I mean, what's the point anymore? It's just, we know we're Tom's River is the perfect place. It's right on the edge of the Pine Barrens. So that's why I say that's where I'm going to wind up having to go live. This kind of crap continues, and I just wish it would stop. But, we lose EPCAL, we lose these woods here in Quogue, and, the quality of life continues to go downhill. Is there really a reason to stay here anymore when I could be in Tom's River and have a much a cleaner environment to be living in versus this overdeveloped mess that they're trying to turn Long Island into? When does it end? And, the judges are corrupt, the government is corrupt. That's why I said in the other video, the only way we're going to stop this, we're going to have to do some other tactics. I don't know what those tactics are. I don't know what they are. But it's going to involve more aggressive approach to stopping the destruction of our natural areas on Long Island. But unfortunately, nobody is willing to do that. And I'm not going to just do it alone. But if it was a group of 100 people or more that would, go in there and physically stop them from destroying the woods, and I would be there right there with them. But I'm not going to do it alone. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching, and take care.